would line up that this still is surviving and that all of these pieces are still here, or that box with the manuscript that was just here and it was just kind of waiting for it. So can you just share a little bit about how that house kind of came to be preserved and why did it feel important to save it?
Well, it came to be preserved because it had, I think, one of the qualities is it had so few owners. David Abbott built it. Edith Beckman was given it as his secretary after his wife died, Fanny died. And then the Schratts, Carl and Tiny Schratt, purchased it in '66 from Edith Beckman. And then they lived in here 58 years, one family owning it for 58 years until they sold it in September of 2024. And I think that helped. You didn't have a lot of people moving in and out.
Right.
And they became connected to the house, and they kept it as it was. I mean, I have no explanation for how a house can be, over 100 years old and not have painted woodwork.
Truly.
How do you get there? I don't know. I'm glad
amazing.
It did. I'm glad it did.
What I love about having the tour, it was like, you were an amazing storyteller for one. And I was here before and was so excited to interview you and hear more about this house, and we can't wait for our listeners to hear it. But magic really is all about storytelling.
Yes.
And building suspense, wonder, and surprise. Like, it's all those elements. And so how does the Abbott House continue to tell the story to its visitors?
Well, it does have a story. The word that's been used to describe the house, not by me, but by those who have come in, is this is so compelling. I didn't know that it would have a life of its own. I mean, it really is a house, but it's more than that. And our members use it for events. We have adult magic classes here once a month, and we have on different subjects. And then the kids come down and use it. And then we have 3 open houses a year in which we partner with a nonprofit, and we use the Emmy Gifford Children's Theater a block west of here to also accommodate, and then we bring people through. So 3 times a year, anybody has a chance to actually come through the house and see it as we partner with other nonprofits. Our first one was with Preserve Omaha, an organization that seeks to keep these houses from being demolished. So, a very good partner. So
absolutely,
yeah.
And that was a tour that I went
tour
on.
You took.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going back to Maggie and saying we have to do this. We have to do magic.
Yeah,
yeah. It was like this has to happen. We have to tell the story, and we just absolutely love hearing about it.
Yeah.
To me, this is why Omaha is so compelling.
Compelling.
It's full of stories, and we want to keep discovering them and telling them as long as we're doing the podcast, Maggie.
Indeed.
Well, and indeed, that's why we've chosen the open house method.
Love it.
Of showing the inside of the house.
Yeah, that's huge.
We're in a residential neighborhood. This isn't going to become a museum and hours, and we have docents, and you can come from 8. No, we can't do that. We can't. First of all, my anxiety wouldn't allow that to happen.
Right.
But we do it more as members, obviously, are part of the support base, and then people can come at any of the 3 open houses. So that's how we're going to continue to share it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I first learned about this house not because my family lived a few doors down. I can't remember how many years ago, was listening to an episode of This American Life. And it was an episode all about magic. And I didn't listen to it specifically because magic. I just listened to every This American Life episode. And I was mindlessly doing whatever. And they're talking about this guy, David Abbott, just like the biggest magician you've never heard of. And they were talking about, like, this is the guy. This was, doctors doctors get second opinions too. Sometimes if doctors have a hard case, they're called, who's their doctor that they get a second opinion from? Of like, I've got this thing, I don't know how to do it. And magicians have that too, that there was
Right.
this man, David Abbott, and he was workshopping things and he was creating things and inventing, and then he would be the one to like figure out like, oh, this is where you're tripping up, or here's how you make this better.
Exactly.
And then I can't remember where they say it. It's actually pretty far into the episode, it felt like, because I'm just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Like, yeah, in this little house in Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha.
You were like,
I was
what?
like, excuse me?
Now,
I had no
now
idea.
they had your attention.
I was like, this is a hidden history. I had no idea. And so it's funny. It's almost like this hidden gem that I think what you're doing is making it kind of become not that hidden gem of allowing
Right.
people to come in, that open house method. If it's not just, oh, it's here and you have to passively, like schedule a time for a tour.
Right.
Opening the doors and letting people come in.
Please come.
I think people will start to be able to kind of know this more.
Yes.
Anyway, so we'll have a link to that This American Life episode because
I
that
want to
was
listen to it.
fascinating. Yeah,
I
it
think
was.
that would be wonderful.
Yeah. So I just think of that there's like these little bits of Omaha and our local history that are just kind of hiding, simmering beneath the surface, and what can kind of come. And so I love that you're doing that. You have members, but then you're also having like junior magicians, little
Magicians.
kid magicians, which I'm obsessed with.
They do.
Yeah.
Which, about fourth grade, I don't know. If you had opportunity,
Uh-huh.
about fourth grade, everybody kind of looks at magic at least.
Oh, I think it's by
For
law.
sure.
It's legally required. All of us.
You've got to-
Something trips
you've
in
got
your
to do
brain, and you got to do something.
And then
Yeah,
if
you
it's
learn one.
fostered, some of us get to be my age,
Uh-huh.
and it has continued. And but we want to tap into that fourth grade time of magic.
Yeah.
And then some will go on, and some will look back at it fondly as a phase they went through in fourth grade.
How did you get to be involved in this? Like, what was your trajectory to kind of where you're doing now?
Well, Sioux City, Iowa is my home.
Okay.
There was a and magic has, for some reason, my dad had a best friend who dabbled in magic.
Okay.
So when I saw this best friend, he'd take a coin, he'd put it in his hand, he'd make it disappear. And I went, I'm going to catch him. But he'd used a different method the next time. And so he captured me immediately. And then he would always show some new different trick whenever we went. He lived in Council Bluffs, and we'd come down and we'd see him. Well, 3 doors, somehow the word got out, because when I was in elementary school, when I was in junior high school, I had connected with a fellow that lived about 2 blocks up from my house, and he was a member of the Magic Club in Sioux City. And I think without a club fostering your passion for magic, yeah, you can watch all the YouTube videos you want, but without a club, you don't have the same mentoring capabilities. And so, unfortunately, these were a lot of older fellas, but they let me, as a high school guy, come and sit. Myself and one other guy, and we now have reconnected. We would come and sit and learn and practice. And so by 8th grade, I was taking, my aunt printed on an index card little I'll do birthday parties. And I would go back to the elementary school that I had gone to and wait for school to be out, and then I'd stand outside as they were going home, and I'd hand out my birthday
This
party.
is your business card.
love it.
Oh my gosh.
And then I would go do birthday parties. And I'd make more at a birthday party than, at $15 back then, and in 8th grade, and oh my gosh, oh boy, this was big stuff. So I started performing that, and then fortunately, when I came down to Omaha, there was a club here, and so it's continued to be fostered. But magic is the knowledge pool is so wide, so deep, and so diverse. So we have people who love magic because of the history. We love magic because they like to perform. They like to just watch magic. They like mind reading magic. They like, it's a big house with a lot of different rooms, a lot of diversity. So it keeps you interested. I will never get to the bottom of the knowledge pool my whole life, which is great. And now I'm doing this, making sure it's around for those that follow me.